Kia ora, everybody. Welcome to Friday's Standing Observation. It may not even be Friday when you're listening to this, but it's every Friday I like to do my little observation, my standing observation on what have I noticed. What have I noticed this week? What's going on? Let me tell you. I've noticed this week feels heavy. This week feels heavy. It's the week before the week before, it's the week before the week before. So, and I feel like if this year was a seesaw, we're tipped right up. We're right down the pointy end. And probably it's like the last 5K of a marathon. Don't know anything about that. Never run a marathon. Have watched my father run lots of marathons, so I've seen the pain. But I feel like if it was a birth, we have delivered the head and now we've got the shoulders to go. And it's just that last push. It's the last push. I do love a birth metaphor. It's the last push of the year. And the week before, for me, feels like where you do most of the stuff, right? Most of the stuff happens because it's too late after that. You can't order things to be delivered. You can't, things run out, blah, blah, blah. So there's a bit of a push there. And I've observed the heaviness and just fuckery in the world. There's a lot of fuckery in the world right now. And I wrote a blog. So I wrote a blog about it. Now, what was really interesting was I observed some behaviour based on people's beliefs, which is really interesting. So what happened was I've been noticing all of the trauma in the world. There's a lot of problems out there at the moment. The way things are going in Gaza is really ugly. There's a lot of trauma out in the world. There's a lot of horrible things happening to horrible people. No, happening to beautiful people. Horrible things happening to good people. And I don't like that. And I feel like there's people in a bit of angst. People in a bit of angst going, oh, I'm worried about family and friends in different countries, or I'm worried about people in my own country, which led me to make a comment about my own country. So for those of you who are not in New Zealand, let me share with you how things are going here. I wrote in the blog that I was very concerned, as I am sharing the concern with many New Zealanders at the moment about our new government. We have a coalition of 3 leaders co-leading our government, and they're doing some pretty odd stuff, I have to say. So I made the comment, I did. I called them bozos. I said the 3 bozos currently running the country, which was my statement, the 3 bozos currently running the country. And what I was commenting on was what I'm calling a cultural regression. So these 3 bozos have gone out and they've taken our country backwards. They've taken the country backwards. So New Zealand is a very progressive country, and we've done a very good job in recent years of leaning into and honouring the Treaty of Waitangi and honouring Māori and doing a really good job. And I think we lead the way. When I look at Australia and other countries, I'm very, very proud of the way we look after and honour and work alongside Māori. I think it's fantastic. Te Reo is a national language in New Zealand. It's a language that I've been learning for the last 2 years. And, as a New Zealand speaker, I'm like, I can't call myself a New Zealand speaker and not be able to get my tongue around the reo. Took me a long time to be able to say reo, the reo. Get my tongue around it. I used to call it reo. I called it reo. Oh dear, my kids were embarrassed. So my kids are way cleverer than me. They have been learning te reo from littlies at school. It's very normal for their generation. So they've got great pronunciation, great awareness of language. And the previous government had brought in that all of the government departments would have Māori names. So everyone just got their heads around it. Everyone was doing well with it. It was working. And guess what? This new government went, no, we're going to just take the country back. Just whip them backwards. We're going to take them back because it's not really, it doesn't really matter, does it? I'm like, wow. So what I wrote in my blog when I called these 3 leaders bozos was not actually a political statement, although I guess people could see it as that. It was more a cultural statement. And there's 2 things 2 of the things I'm really big on. One is honouring people. And whether that's honouring Māori, honouring any Indigenous people, honouring people, I think it's really important. I'm also really big on improvement. And I thought our country had improved. And I liked that some of the tidy-whities had got out there and were leaning into learning te reo and honouring the language of our people. And I love that. Love, love, love it, right? And then these bozos come in and take it backwards. So I made a comment that I thought that there was a lot of heaviness in the world and that we were feeling, there's a lot of people in New Zealand very unsettled by a lot of changes that have happened very quickly, and they feel regressive, they feel backward. So I was just making the comment, and I'm personally kind of really appalled, and I'm interested in what the people are going to do. I'm really interested in that because people aren't happy. So I was writing about that, you see. And anyway, I got some feedback. So it started with an email response of someone, and guess what? I'm very disappointed in you, Lisa. I'm very disappointed. What are you, my mother? Like, I'm very disappointed in you because you shared a political belief, and I will no longer be subscribing to your blog. I'm like, well, do you know what? Good for you, Julie, actually. Get out of my inbox? Because what's really interesting is because it's what she believes is a political belief, it's not okay. Now, I share beliefs all day. I saw something the other day that said, this Christmas, I'm giving everyone my opinion. Kind of what I'm doing. Here you go. Here's my opinion. It's not even gift wrapped. So I love that. And, do you know, all I've done is share an opinion of mine, which is what I do actually in every single bloody blog I write. Every single blog, every podcast has an opinion. It has an opinion about, I think people should do this. I think that, we'd be better off doing that. I think that people's lives would improve if we tried this. And just because there was a mention of our political leaders, it's suddenly a political belief. And, we're all told, aren't we? Don't talk about politics. No, that's a no. People say, well, you don't talk about money or politics. And I think it's a big problem. I've done both this week. I've mentioned money in my blog on Tuesday and politics in my blog on Thursday. Shame on me. That's what the other email I got this morning. Shame on you, Lisa. It's a shame. It's a shame. Oh my God, it's a shame you had to go and do that because I so enjoy your blogs. It's a shame. You know what? Get out of my inbox. Don't send me. Being offended is a choice, right? I love the idea that being offended is a choice. And one of my favourite things I ever heard was a quote. I can't even remember where it came from, which is very bad of me. But it was about the fact that the true sign of intelligence is being able to sit in opposing ideas. How good is that? How good is that? To be able to sit in opposing ideas. Now, I am very comfortable sitting with someone who believes in something completely different to me. So if I was, I don't know, whatever, if I thought that, the world was flat and you thought the world was round, I'm happy to have coffee with you and talk about where you've got this theory that the world is round, right? I don't care. I'm not bothered about other people's beliefs. I like to sit back and hear other people's beliefs, and I like to consider them. And I think that's intelligent. And I love helping people to think. So I love making people laugh. I love having fun. But my blog each week is actually called I've Been Thinking. I've been thinking, what have I been thinking about? And this observation is what I'm noticing and thinking about. So what am I noticing and seeing out in the world? And I'm seeing people very uptight and rigid about belief. And I don't like it because I think we need to have different beliefs. It's okay for us to believe different things. It's okay for me to think these three men are bozos and for you to go, I love them. Okay, good for you. You don't have to be offended. You don't have to stop listening to me or get out of my inbox. You don't have to delete me. You can if you want, but this is the problem with this cancel culture. The minute something doesn't suit us, we cancel it. We go, no, get out. And it's like, well, why can't we just sit and talk about that, right? And yeah, I just think beliefs are a problem. And I'm interested in the week before, and going into Christmas and how many people's belief buttons get pushed. How many belief buttons get pushed at Christmas, right? People believing different things. Oh, you must go to church at Christmas. Should I? Do I? Maybe. Do I have to? I don't know, right? Maybe your mother wants you to go to church. Maybe your brother is a vegetarian and you're like, oh, for God's sake, have some ham, Derek. Maybe Derek doesn't want to eat ham. Maybe he believes it's terrible to eat a pig. I don't know. We've all got beliefs, right? And they're all beliefs, and they trip us up because we're convinced our beliefs are right. And, if you don't want to hear other people's beliefs, you need some headphones and a key to lock yourself up, because otherwise you're not living. And being able to hold other people's beliefs and explore beliefs and even have conversations. I had a conversation recently with a man at dinner, and he said, Christians, and I said something about Christians, and he assumed I was a Christian. He said, Christians like us. I went, oh, no, I'm not a Christian. Oh, he said, oh, I thought you were. I said, no. Oh, he said, you just seem like such a good person. Oh, right there. There's a belief, right? Wow. Okay, so can I be a good person if I'm not a Christian? Really? So I said, is it possible, do you think, to be a good person and not a Christian? He said, well, yes, it feels like you might be that. I said, well, there you go, maybe. He said, so you're not a Christian? I said, no, I'm not. He said, wow. And I said, so, but I'm really interested in what you love about being a Christian. Tell me about that. Tell me about your beliefs. Tell me about how you got into the church, because he found it as an adult, and what do you get from it? And what do you love about it? And we had this amazing conversation, and I really enjoyed it. And he said, oh, thank you. I've really enjoyed this conversation. And I'm like, yeah, well, I don't have to believe the same thing as you to have a great conversation, and I think we need to be very careful of our beliefs. So I'm just noticing people being all stitched up and uptight, and I think people should be able to discuss their beliefs. We should be able to share our thinking and go, what do you reckon about that? And do you reckon that every place name or every government department's name should be in Te Reo? Do you believe that? I think it's great. I think the country just got used to it and it got pulled away. And I'm like, that makes no sense. That's like teaching children manners and then 2 years later going, hey, guess what, guys? We're just not going to have any manners anymore. Do what you want. Like, why would you do that when you've just gone through all the effort of teaching, educating and changing people, and then you want to go backwards? I don't get it. I like improvement. I like openness. I like playing with concepts. I love noticing things. So I hope you're okay out there. I hope that your beliefs are not being poked and pushed and shoved up your nose, or other people's beliefs, So just think about that. Think about your beliefs going into Christmas. Think about, what do you believe? What do you believe about Christmas? Do you think it's Jesus' son's birthday? Or God's son? I can't remember. It's someone's birthday, isn't it? It's someone's birthday. Do you think it's just a good time to eat pork? I don't know. Do you not eat pork? Do you not believe in pork? Do you just, I don't know what you do. But I'm really interested in the beliefs. The beliefs, does everyone have to have presents? Is it okay to have no presents? Does everyone have to be together? What are the beliefs you have? I love the idea of thinking about that. I'd love to hear your beliefs. If you've got any real absolute pearlers, feel free to flick them through, and just prepare yourself, because it will be a barrage of beliefs. A barrage of beliefs are coming at you as we hit the end of the year, and what people think's okay, what's not okay, all these traditions, So that's what I'm thinking about. That is my observation. So thank you for listening to me. It's Ka kite. See you around.